Hi, it's Saskia here from Little Bunny Bakers, and I'm very excited today to be making some Smartie cookies with you. Rosie Rabbit, my mascot, is here ready as well, and she's very excited. So we're going to need a couple of things today. We're going to need 25 grams of butter. It's at room temperature, so it's quite soft. We've got 25 grams of brown sugar and 25 grams of white sugar. If you don't have any brown sugar at the moment, don't worry, just have double the white and vice versa. We also have 65 grams of flour. This is self-raising flour. If you can't get self-raising flour, you can use plain flour, 62 grams and a teaspoon of baking powder. And then we have an egg, which we're going to be measuring with in a minute. We've got cocoa powder and, of course, Smarties. So I'll talk you through the steps one step at a time, and I like to start with my Bunny Bakers song. Welcome to Little Bunny Bakers. It's nice to see you here today. We're going to have a lot of fun baking. So come on, let's bake. Hooray! So let's get going. It's one of my favorite recipes. So what we're going to do is take our butter and using our spoon, scrape it into the bowl. Now before we start mixing, we want to soften it up a little bit. So I just like to use the spoon to tap it. Tap, 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 tap. And this just helps to soften it up and make it easier to mix. So it should look something like that. And then we're going to add our brown sugar and our white sugar as well. So we've got our butter, our sugar, and we're going to give it a mix together, round and round. But you might notice that although we're stirring it, it isn't really blending together. So we need a little bit of a trick, and the trick is smooshing. So that is squashing. So we're going to have our hand right down at the base of the spoon, and we're going to squash and pull. So squash and pull. And as we squash and pull our mix, it will begin to blend together. Squash and pull. Squash and pull. I've been running Little Bunny Bakers for, where are we up to? A year and 4 months now. I trained as a primary school teacher, and I did that for 6 years, which I loved. And then I moved up to Yorkshire, a place I love very much, and I realised that anything was possible. Anything was possible, really. So instead of dreaming about running a cookery school full of polka dots and colour, I did it, and here we are. So I run weekly classes, holiday workshops, weekend workshops, birthday parties and special events like teddy bears picnics, or events for adults like prosecco and piping evenings, or cake decorating evenings, all sorts of fun things. Right, so our mix should look something like this now. The butter and the sugar have blended together and are nice and creamed. That means they've mixed together well. So that's looking really good. I'm happy with that. Now what we want to do next is add 15 grams of this. Does anyone know what this is? That's right, it's an egg. How on earth are we going to get 15 grams of an egg, I hear you ask? Well, it's very simple. What you need are some scales and a cup. And what we're going to do is we're going to crack our egg into the cup, and then we're going to pour 15 grams of the egg into our mix. This recipe makes 4 cookies. If you wanted to make double, you would need 30 grams. If you wanted to make double that again, to have 16 cookies, you can just use the whole egg. But in the times that we're in, it's good to use a little ingredients rather than too much. So we're going for 15 grams of an egg. Now, I like to hold my egg nice and snug in my hand. Then I'm going to tap it to crack it. Then I'm going to turn it over, and using my thumbs, open it like a book. So tap it to crack it, turn it, open it like a book. Here we go. So I've got my glass, tap it to crack it, listen. Did you hear that? That's right, it's cracked. So I'm going to use my thumbs now and pour it into my glass. And I'm just going to get a wipe and wipe my hands. That's it, that's better. And then we have our egg yolk and our white here. I'm going to get a fork and give it a little stir so it's blended together. If you were in my class, I'd be very tempted to sing my chicken song at this point. And I think I might do it for you anyway. Okay, so arms at the ready, everybody. Chick, 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 chicken, lay a little egg for me. Chick, 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 chicken, I'd like one for my tea, because I haven't had an egg since breakfast, and now it's 3:30. So, chick, 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 chicken, lay a little egg for me. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we're going to put our mixing bowl on top of the scales, and into it we want to slowly pour 15 grams of the egg. So I'm going to slowly watch. Slowly, slowly. There. There we go. So we've got our egg now in our bowl. And now we just need to mix it round and round. At first, it should look a little bit lumpy as everything breaks up. If it sticks to the spoon, that's fine. Just wipe it off again. Mix, mix, mix. You can mix it slowly and you can mix it fast. And slowly and fast. And it should start blending. You can twizzle it. Twizzle, twizzle. By putting your spoon in the middle and your hands either side and moving them back and forward. Bit of fun, bit of fun. Twizzle it round. There we go. Okay, how's your mixture looking? Yeah, that's looking good. Mine is blended together now, so we're going to add our flour. That's 65 grams of self-raising flour. In it goes. And we'd like 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. Here we go. So cocoa powder comes from the cocoa plant, which is where our chocolate comes from. So it's essentially chocolate without any sugar. So we've got 1 spoon nice and level, nice and flat of cocoa powder. In it goes. And now we're going to very gently mix it together. Aeroplanes fly, flour should not. So nice and gentle, mix it round. Oh, you can see that lovely chocolatey colour coming up. It smells good too. Round and round. And it should begin to look a little bit lumpy. Okay, and when that happens, we're going to turn our spoon over and we're going to squash it again on the side of the bowl. Do you remember what that's called? That's right, smooshing. So we're going to press and pull, press and pull. We're going to smoosh it on the side of the bowl. And that should squash it all together and bring us a lump like that. And that's what we want. So we'll scrape the spoon off. And now the fun bit, we're going to get our hands involved. Just push off anything left on the spoon and pop that to one side. And then with 1 hand or 2 hands, you're going to reach into the bowl and pick up your chocolate cookie lump. Now our hands are hot. They're hot hands. We have 37 degrees is our temperature. And if we hold our cookie mix too much, if we squeeze it or hold it, the butter in our mix will start to melt and the whole thing will get very gooey and messy. So the trick is not to touch it too much if you can. So now that's in a bowl, ready to go, I'm going to get my Smarties. You can do this if you have any sprinkles in the cupboard. Marshmallows and things like jazzies, they look great when you put them in, but when they cook, I do find they go a little bit brown and can burn very quickly. So see how you go. Now on my packet, I've got a joke or a question. What O has 8 legs and lives in the sea? That's right, it's an octopus. Very good. I think I'd like to be an octopus sometimes. Imagine how much cooking you could get done if you had 8 arms. 8 bowls going. You could have a class of 7 children and give everyone a hand at one time. Okay, so we're going to need 12 Smarties for the next bit. So you can have a little look and choose your favourites. I think I'll go for those. You might have some left over, which is fine, because in that case, if you have any left over, you can just pop them in your mouth and eat them. Okay, so we've got our cookie dough, and we're just going to gently roll it in our hand into a sausage. You can also roll it on the surface like this, and then you're going to get a knife. If you're helping your children to do this, I'd say you do this, but with a sharp knife, but you can use any knife to do this. And we're going to cut it in half, and then in half again on each side. So we're going to end up with 4 quarters. Should we count them? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. Well done. So one at a time, we're going to take a little quarter of our cookie dough, pop it in our hand, and give it a little roll. If that's a bit tricky, you can put it on the side and give it a roll on the side as well. We're trying to make a sphere shape, a round circle. So we roll it into a ball, and then with the other hand, we're going to gently press down so it's a little bit flatter. It's not pancake flat, it's just a little bit flatter. And then we're going to pop that onto a ready tray and repeat with the other 3 balls of dough. So roll it, squash it like this. You could make 6 little cookies with this recipe, but I like to do 4 good sized cookies. There we go. So we've got the cookies ready on the tray, and now they just need some embellishment, some prettiness, some flavour, some colour on top. So we're going to get our Smarties, pop it on top, and then just gently wiggle it in. You don't want it so low that it disappears, but if it's just resting on the top, I find it pops out when you cook it. So we just pop it on top and wiggle it down, and repeat for the others. You could be creative and have different styles. You could have some pointing upwards, like this. You could try it with mini eggs, Easter mini eggs. That's quite fun as well. There we go. Now, meanwhile, the oven is on at 170 degrees, and we're going to pop these in the oven for about 10 minutes. When they come out, they look quite soft, but we leave them on the tray to cool, and then in about 5-10 minutes, they're ready to eat and perfect to enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make chocolate Smartie cookies today. It's lovely having you here. Just to say again, my name is Saskia, and I am Little Bunny Bakers. So we'll finish with a song. Little Bunny Bakers, we've had some fun. We've baked a lot. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining me. See you again next time. Bye.